Oh, hi there. Today we're in beautiful Golden, BC, which is just perfect because we're going to be reviewing Hot or Not by Jessica Campbell. And she's from Victoria, but apparently she's living in Wisconsin right now. So Hot or Not came out in 2016 from Koyama Press. Sadly, it's not going to be around much longer, or their days are done, which is really a loss, I think. But anyways, on to Jessica Campbell's book. I chose this as my first review to do because I think this book is fantastic. I think it's a really good stimulant for conversation, and I hope from this review maybe you get some insight into that. The book itself isn't a whole lot. There's not much here, but it's really well done, and that's one of the reasons why I think it's such a good thing to review. It's a small package, and you're going to get tons of conversation out of it. So first off, the cover. The cover is amazing. The drawings aren't, too detailed or anything. But the curious thing about this is that it's actually got some scratch panels on it, like a lottery ticket. So you can scratch away some of the gray areas. And what you're greeted by on the cover is, when you scratch this away, is a bunch of dicks, which is quite revealing and very surprising. Which is kind of sets up the tone of the book, I think. So it opens up with an essay, introduces the work that's to come after. The essay is written in a kind of an academic tone, and I get the impression it's written, it's written by somebody named Leslie Barnardiston Fitzroy, Chief Curator of the Museum of Modern and Contemporary Western Art. So you feel like you're getting something pretty serious here. And then you turn the page after this essay, and you're greeted by the author, Jessica herself, I assume, who's telling you that we're going to be looking at a bunch of different artists, but that we're also going to be scrutinizing whether or not these artists are bangable, which really gets into, I think, the message she's trying to send with this book. So, are these artists bangable? Really what she's doing is reducing artists to something that has little to do with art. So really judging them on their looks. And you can tell she's trying to make a sort of feminist statement with this, which I think is just fantastic and quite appropriate. So she takes you through a series of different artists. She looks at Canadian artists, geometric abstraction, feelings art, and some erotic freaks, as she calls them, and moves through the book that way. So I wondered as I was reading this if I had done what Jessica is suggesting men do. I think is so you like an artist's art. Are you going to go online and Google a picture of that artist and see if they're hot or not, and then make your decision about that artist's work based on that? I'm sure I've done it. I'm sure I've fallen into this trap. I mean, we're sexual creatures. We're human beings, so we're going to be looking at that kind of stuff. But not all the time. And I think that Jessica's statement on this maybe takes a bit away from some of the successful female artists that are out there in comics, whose work really does stand on its own merits. And I hate to think that every female artist that works in comics had experienced their success by way of their good looks. I think female artists, male artists are all very beautiful people, and just for the sake that they're doing good art or doing interesting art. I actually didn't look up Jessica Campbell's face after reading this, maybe out of spite. But just even that statement, I think we can pull so much out of that, or that practice that, hey, you got to know what the artist looks like to enjoy it. I don't think that's the case, and I don't think that a lot of female artists became successful on the basis of their looks. So, to that, I've mentioned two things there. Yeah, don't judge the artist on the basis of their personal physical looks. I don't think that's fair, obviously, and I don't think Jessica thinks that's particularly fair, given that she's making such a crass statement about it. Also, too, I disagree to an extent. Like, some of that I think is kind of natural, given that human beings are sexual creatures. Some people are going to be curious, especially the comic book medium. It touches you in a very personal way because of the story and because the art is very immersive. So when somebody's reading a graphic novel, they might feel that, hey, you know what, this artist connected with me in a very personal way, so I'm going to look up what this person looks like, touch me in such a close personal way. Is that wrong? Is that right? It just is, I think. Just to sum up my very quick review of this very quick read, short and to the point. She's got some very intriguing brashness about this. Tons of fodder for discussion, like I mentioned. She uses the medium to its fullest, being that it's so short and she's making such a deep statement. And it's the complete package of a good graphic novel, like right from the cover. She's starting to make her statement there. What's revealed underneath the lines that you scratch away when you go to do a Google search of the face of the artist that you're looking for. But with these reviews that I'm doing, I'm looking at its significance or relevance to sort of Canadian life. So just in the few academic classes that I've taken in Canadian literature, there's a couple themes that you pick out. So one of those themes is survival. And I strongly get the impression from this that for Jessica, female artists in general, it is difficult to exist within this graphic medium. So you've got your survival component there. And then, of course, sexuality. Like, this book just teems with it. And really is the theme of it. Are these guys bangable? I just want to pick out my favorite piece that she did, her commentary on Saul Lewitt. Dude's got to be a naughty. He seems like a wearer of monocles and ascots who'd scoff at anyone who didn't appreciate squares with enough gravitas. And then you turn the page, and she informs you that this artist, in order to work for him for minimum wage, you need to have a master's degree. So yeah, that was cool insight for me. I don't know if she's commenting on graphic novels in particular, or maybe contemporary Canadian art, or just art in general, that this is the case. But yeah, fantastic fodder for discussion. Thanks.